guys, this is Nikki with WayUp, and I am here in the MILLY offices with Chrissy, who is a buyer. Thank you so much for having us.
I'm so happy to do this.
Yeah, we're excited to kind of dig into the fashion world. And so let's just start. What is a buyer? You know, are you a professional personal shopper?
I wish. That would be amazing. That would be so great. A buyer, in its essence, is somebody who goes to what we call market, and that's when a designer has made a collection, and I go through and pick the pieces for the season based on past sales history and also upcoming trends.
Cool. That sounds very interesting. So does every fashion brand or store have a buyer, someone in your position?
So, but every big retailer like a Saks, a Bloomingdale's, etc., they all have buyers and planners because they're working with a third-party vendor like MILLY. With somebody like me, who I work actually within the vendor, which we call vertical retail, not every single brand has their own buyers, but because we have our own stores, we do have to have a buyer, and so that's my role. So I buy for our MILLY stores.
Got it. So you take the MILLY brand and you say what will work for that MILLY customer in those MILLY stores.
Exactly. And so our MILLY customer, because we have a store on the Upper East Side, we have one in East Hampton, and we do have milly.com, our customer could be totally different from the Saks customer or the Neiman's customer. So I have to understand why we are different and make sure that we're catering to our specific customer.
That sounds great. So what kind of skills do you need for this? What do you do day to day?
Day to day, it's definitely not all, shopping in a closet. I am in Excel a lot, which isn't always what people think about when they think of a buyer. It's definitely looking at our sales, looking at what worked in the past seasons, what didn't work, and also taking into consideration the designer's vision for how she sees the next upcoming season. So if she's really focusing on a trend and maybe I'm unsure of it, I still have to support her in that. But maybe I have to temper her a little bit because I have to say, look, like this really didn't work last time. So it's definitely a collaboration between both of us.
Got it. So do you have any trends that you wish you had seen or that you foresaw that did really well?
Yes, the off the shoulder. That is blowing up this season. It's insane. Every single designer has something out there. And luckily our tops have been blowing out. It's sold out in our first cut. I had to get on the phone with our production downstairs and get a recut in ASAP because people were calling in left and right trying to get this top.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Fashionable.
So fashionable.
So it sounds like you're a one-woman show, but you must work cross-functionally. Who do you work with?
So I'm actually umbrellaed under the marketing team, so I report to our VP of marketing, which is definitely different from how most companies work. Normally, a buyer and planner is separated out under a merchandising role, but because we are smaller, I'm within marketing. So I work super closely with our marketing team, constantly collaborating on email blasts, social media content, to make sure that we are pushing what maybe isn't selling so well, but also highlighting some of our best sellers and saying, oh, these are back in stock. So I work really closely with them to tell them what product to highlight. I also work very closely with our creative director, Michelle Smith. We work together on exclusives to make sure that MILLY is differentiated from Saks, from Bloomingdale's. What can we offer the customer that nobody else can offer them? So that's super fun. So sometimes I get to choose specific fabrics that no one else will have, and our fabrics are incredible. So that's an awesome way to differentiate. And then I also work with our CFO. I am the planner, so I have to work with him and show him where our inventory levels are and what kind of liability we may have, in terms of markdown dollars going into the next season.
Cool. That's very interesting. So I'm a recent grad or a college student, and I love fashion and I want to break into the industry, and specifically I want to be a buyer. How do I do that?
Internships, I would say, are the most important thing. I mean, I was a political science major, so I had absolutely no fashion education, but I knew that I wanted to be in fashion from a young age. So after my freshman year of college, I went out, found an internship at Theory in the men's wholesale team, and it was fantastic. I loved the fast-paced environment. I was like a sponge soaking up everything everybody said in a meeting, and that's how I knew that that's what I wanted to do, and I just kept going after internships every summer, and maintaining those contacts I think is so important because the fashion world is tiny and everybody knows each other and everybody can connect you some way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, internships I would say are for sure And everybody needs a summer intern. We rely on our summer interns, and we rely on interns all year round.
Well, that's good to know. So let's talk about the perks. There must be some really, really awesome perks in fashion.
The discounts are pretty good. Yeah, you can definitely drive yourself into a little credit card trouble, but no.
So you spend what you make.
Yes, exactly. Yes, will all even out, but it's great to have that discount. And sometimes like right now we get to just borrow some samples. So this is like a top from pre-fall. And this is a summer top, and so it's great because we can just grab something from a rack, and if we have a meeting, we can put that on really quickly and then put it back when we're finished. But that's super fun because you get to test drive new styles.
Wow, so buyers are always looking fabulous.
Oh yeah.
So I'm interviewing for a buying role. What do I wear?
You really want to cater to that audience. So for something like MILLY, we're not, buttoned up. We're not a big corporation. So definitely showing something that shows your personality would be perfect. Don't come in blue jeans and a white t-shirt, but something that is a little bit more fashion forward. We're not a finance company, so we want to see something shine through, but you also need to make sure that it's not, work appropriate.
Sure. Okay, cool. So let's talk about your favorite fashion moment. What is it?
Honestly, the off the shoulder is awesome because it's providing women from all ages to show a little skin, but it's not daring or like too sexy or showing too much. It's the perfect amount of like, I'm fun, I love fashion, I want to show off a little bit of skin, but I'm not, plunging neckline or anything. And it's so great for summer. It's, it adds a little bit of a sleeve or whatever it is, but it's still, covering up.
Okay, so I have to ask, there is a lot of talk about the cutthroat nature of working in fashion. I mean, I think we've all seen The Devil Wears Prada. How much truth to that is there?
I think in the actual buying and merchandising world, there really isn't any sort of cutthroat mentality. I've never had an issue. It's always been people supporting one another, which is really, really nice. And even coming from a big place like Saks Avenue, I really never experienced that. Everybody was super supportive of one another. And then the same thing here. Everybody's so, everything is so small. And it's not at all anybody trying to cut each other down.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So finally, what's your most memorable time that you've had in fashion as a buyer?
Well, fashion isn't all that glamorous. One of our favorite times is right before a fashion show. So the night before, we are waiting for a number of documents that we can stuff folders with to put on everybody's seats once they get to the show. And the papers include the run-up show, which is what the models are wearing, and the looks that come out one by one, and also our creative director's vision for that season. So really, that is very last minute, but it's super fun. I mean, at midnight, the night before, all of us in the office are sitting around, stuffing our faces with pizza and just stuffing folders, and it's great, and it's silly. We're blasting music, running around, dancing, which is fun, and it's not something people associate with a fashion company.
Do buyers attend fashion shows?
Yes, we attend every single show, and we want to see people's reactions as the looks come out, but we also want to see the show as every other buyer would, coming from a big retailer or a small boutique.
Great. Okay, so final words of advice for any college students or recent grads who are looking to break into the industry and become a buyer.
Be passionate, be out there searching for an internship, make sure that you're reading up on all of the fashion publications like Women's Wear Daily, Vogue, Harper's Bazaar. You definitely want to know what's going on out there, and just being super charismatic and passionate in an interview is really what people are attracted to in this world. So that would be really my advice.
Well, thank you. So here you have it. If you are looking to become a buyer in the fashion industry, here's a little bit of what you need to know to break in. And thank you so much, Chrissy, for having us. We're here at MILLY, and this is Nikki from WayUp.